Welcome back to part 3 of this little series that I'm doing where I'm making a Python script that's going to take the output from an nmap scan and then filter all of that content into a usable format for reports for clients. Let's see what progress we've made this week. In this particular scan, I've got 10 different devices that are on the network. We're presented with a selection menu here where we have an individual host. So I could choose number 10, I could choose number 7, number 6. I'll go ahead and select H for individual host, and I'm going to choose item number 6 as my desired input. Okay. Now, this is a metasploitable machine, so it spits out a ton of information. All of this is important stuff. But I want to be able to actually sift through that list and actually find information for, let's say, DNS or specifically the HTTP service. But this time, I'm going to search by service. So I'm going to search by the FTP service. It's a really easy one to search with FTP, and it spits out all the machines that have FTP, and it grabs only the data that is relevant to that particular port and service. We have port 21 is open, and it gives me the service version. That's what I want. And then additionally, in that scan, we had port 2121 that was also open and running this version of software. And then all of the data that belongs to that particular service is in it. This is good. This was a reasonably tough riddle to sort through. Let's go through the code now. So right here we've got the selection menu here where you can choose host or you can choose service. And the host is pretty straightforward. You choose it and then you select the number, and then it spits out all of the data that was collected for that particular host. But what's of particular interest and which was hard to do was the service. In my test file, I've got 10 different hosts. Boom, 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 boom. And we're looping through each of those hosts to check if this value, let's say SSH, is in that particular chunk of text. If it is, then we dive into that particular chunk of text, and then we split all of the lines into array, and we're going to at that point step through and loop through each of these lines, and we're going to look for if that service, we mentioned it again here, is in that individual line, because we could have FTP right in the middle of the code. So we're going to go check through all of those lines till we hit the string that we want. Once we do that, print that line, because that would be just saying like, hey, this is port 21 FTP. That's the first one usually. After we print that line, then we're going to actually fill up a temporary list. And this might seem silly, but we're actually putting all the rest of the lines into an array. We loop through till we hit something that matches FTP, print that line to the screen, and then everything else is then put into an array. Great. It's a temporary array because it's going to die after this loop here. Now we're going to loop through that temporary array. And if we looked at a nmap output, we will see it looking sort of like port 21, the service, and then it will have on each individual line a pipe character, pipe, until we get to 22, which would be SSH. And then it would continue on with all the details for that particular port, which is the stuff I don't want. So what we look for is if that first character is a pipe, print it to the screen. Great. If it's a digit, so we're looping through pipe 22, then we break out of this if statement and the loop is now done. It's pretty straightforward, and it's going to give us all the information for that network scan that we really want. I did find it challenging to um, not to find a matching string. That was pretty easy, but it's for the dynamic amount of data that's underneath of each service that could be different for every single network scan. That part was challenging. So looping through and looking for a matching character was 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 the answer. If you enjoyed this series, you want to check out how it started, go back to video 1. Here's a link here, and then we're gonna keep going. I really want to see where this project takes me. Thanks for watching.